I'm Jason.
I'm Lena.
I'm Tara.
I'm Suzanne.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm Mary.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Helga.
Hi everybody, I'm Jessica. We're going to do a persuasive speech about breastfeeding in public. So no one wants to eat in the bathroom, and babies shouldn't have to either. But this is exactly where many breastfeeding moms end up going when they are shamed in public for feeding their babies. So nursing moms and their babies deserve better. I'm sure that everyone probably knows someone who has breastfed their baby. Maybe it was you, or your spouse, or a family member, or a close friend. And imagine what it would be like for them if they were ever told they had to leave an establishment or go somewhere else because they were feeding their baby. Today we're going to talk about a serious issue facing breastfeeding mothers and some things that we can do to help them. Breastfeeding is encouraged by the entire medical community, by world-renowned organizations like the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the American Academy of Pediatrics. In a recent survey by the NCSL, a group was surveyed. 76% of them said yes, hands down, breast milk is the best thing for a baby. But when they asked that same group, did they support breastfeeding in public, only 40% said they did. So where is the gap in the support, and what's going on, and what can we do to help? Mothers should be able to breastfeed their babies in public without fear of public persecution. Breastfeeding is legal in all 50 states. 45 states have specific laws in regards to breastfeeding, saying that mothers can breastfeed where they are allowed to be with their babies. But there is no enforcement policy. So what does that mean for mom? According to breastfeedinglaw.com, no enforcement policy means that you can breastfeed your baby in public, but if you're harassed by a store employee or a restaurant employee or just someone in the general public, there's no legal recourse for that action. So unless the mom wants to hire an attorney with their own money and go that route and even find an attorney that's willing to take that case, there's really nothing they can do. So mothers have been removed from courtrooms, airlines, restaurants, stores, just a variety of places. If you go to HuffingtonPost.com, you'll see page after page after page of stories where these kind of things have happened. For instance, in Illinois, a YMCA lifeguard told a mom she needed to go feed her baby in the bathroom. And closer to home here, at a Bob Evans in Tampa, a hostess told a mom who was kind of sitting in a corner booth to herself that she needed to go out to her car, that she couldn't stay there. So when these things come to light, all of these companies have made public apologies, which is fine, but that, at that point the damage is already done, the mom's already been embarrassed, it's already caused a scene, and it's kind of an unfortunate situation. So clearly we have a lot of gaps in our system here. On one hand, mothers are told when they leave the hospital, yes, this is the best thing you can do, it's the best thing ever, make sure you do that for your baby for 1 year. But when they go out in public, our society seems to view it as something that's offensive or inappropriate, and that should not be. So how can we help these moms? What can we do? What kind of things are being done? Education support and new legislation is helping moms to continue to breastfeed and educate the public. According to the CDC, breastfeeding is one of the most highly effective preventative measures a mother can take to protect the health of her infant, and they recommend that to be done for 12 months. So to promote this ideal, the federal government now requires employers to provide a place other than a restroom for nursing moms to pump or to feed their babies if there's a child care facility on site, so that they can take care of their babies, which is a good thing. Also, the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, also is now giving more support to moms by giving education and home support for moms that need it for help with infants breastfeeding. And if they're on programs like WIC or something like that, moms are able to get more nutritious foods to help them to keep going. There are a lot of groups out nowadays that are supporting more breastfeeding legislation. So groups like the La Leche League are helping to support moms that are trying to get more specifics into the breastfeeding and public law. So those specifics would include education for businesses, that there is a law that exists and that they need to educate all of their employees from the top all the way down so that women aren't embarrassed or harassed or taken from establishments. They're also going to prevent interference from breastfeeding and also provide recourse if that right is violated, which I think is the most important part, because if there's no recourse for kicking somebody out of your restaurant or your store, you know, it can just keep happening. If there's fines or things like that and money's involved, people kind of tend to pay a little bit more attention. Nowadays, not so much when my kids were younger, but many shopping malls, stores, restaurants, they're all providing areas other than restrooms, and calling them kind of like family rooms that don't have restrooms in them, where moms can go and just kind of sit and have a quiet place to feed their babies if they need that peace and quiet. That doesn't mean that the mom has to use those places, but they are available, and it's a better option than going to a bathroom if you need that quiet. So the steps are small, but they're steps in the right direction. And the more exposure that the issue gets, the more education that the public gets, and that's always a good thing. Breast milk is hands down the best food for a baby, and it's supported by world-renowned organizations. World Health, the CDC, American Academy of Pediatrics all say it's the best thing for the first year. It's necessary for the public to understand that this is a means of providing food for an infant, and it's not something that's sexual or inappropriate at all. Breastfeeding moms should be able to feed their babies in public without fear of persecution and worrying about what someone might say or trying to get them to leave a store. Mothers need to be able to provide the very best start that they can for their infants, and breastfeeding is one way to do that. You cannot acknowledge that breast milk is the best food for a baby in one breath and then oppose breastfeeding in public in the other. It just does not make sense. So the next time you happen to notice a mom feeding her baby, if you happen to notice at all, please remember that she needs support and encouragement, not harassment. If it's something that embarrasses you, look away and just leave the area. She is doing the best that she can for her baby, and that's all we can ask. Thank you.